Start the music. I'll be right back. Hang on, folks. We're moving. As usual, the loyal Chief Dancing Ostrich, first in the chat room. Oh, yeah. We're doing it on stream. We're going to make some noise. All right, all around the world. You got anybody in Europe there? England, maybe? Germany, Scotland, UK? What do you think? Oh, the foam, the foam. All right, let's turn that music down. Let's see, just make sure I haven't got any more emergencies to deal with. No, we're good. We're good. We're good. Okay. So, let's stop that music and say, hey, how are you? It's good to see you. All right. It is 3:00 in the afternoon right here in snowy Cleveland, Ohio. We got some snow today. Finally stopped. It was very treacherous driving because people, when it snows, people just don't know how to freaking drive, especially park in a big shopping mall parking lot. Man, it's just usually I just pop into the parking lot, just park and do my business and do whatever I do. But today it took me about 10 minutes to find a parking space that was correct and that wasn't going the wrong way and unplowed or whatever. It's just a mess. But I made it back home. I made it back here, and we are here to do a special Record Store Day list program for you right here on Bill's Box of Sound. Wonderful to see you all wherever you're from. I do see we have some people. Christopher Scott from the south coast of England. Good to see you. Zindo, good to see you. Chief Dancing Ostrich, and we've got other people. And there may be folks just waking up in some parts of the world. I don't know. But yeah, it's noon on the West Coast, 1 Mountain Time, 2 Central Time, and blah 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 all that stuff. Anyway, so what am I doing here? What's going on is I've got the Record Store Day lists for both the United States and the UK. Okay, and my lovely and talented and very exacting wife has been helping me out for the past few hours going through to figure out which releases are coming out in the US and which ones are coming out in the UK only and which ones are coming out both. So I'm going to try really hard and talk about all of these and let you know what I know about these releases. And as far as the chat room is concerned, I don't know. It's going to be limited communication with the chat room because I'm paying a lot of attention to all the little marks that we made on these papers here. Because it took us almost 2 hours to mark this, but I had to print all these out. But what's going on is the Record Store Day list is out. It just came out like 2 days ago. And Record Store Day is April the 20th, 420 for those of you who are partakers of the weed. And but for me, it's the day that I get up ridiculously early and go to my favorite record stores and buy these special limited edition records. So yeah, that's Record Store Day. So the lists for both of these came out, and you've got to make sure that you take into account with a grain of salt all of this information, because Record Store Day is 2 months away. March, April, yeah, 2 months away. Today is the 17th of February. Now, for those of you who usually check out the replay of the Box of Sound, there's a good chance that I'm going to be taking this program, re-editing it completely, even adding some graphics and stuff, and putting it up on my regular Bill's Box of Sound feed. So that will do, and I'll be sipping away at Diet Coke and other things. So, and there's some things that I'm going to comment on, stuff that I really, really want to get and stuff that I really, really, really don't want to get, but I'm going to try and cover nearly everything on the list. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the US and UK lists. I'm going to try and state which stuff. Now, in the case of various artists compilations, I'm not completely sure that I am going to talk about every one of those. I'm going to like scan through those and see what we got, but I only had enough time. So things that are coming out in both the US and the UK are as follows, and I'm going to go roughly in alphabetical order because both of these lists are listed in somewhat alphabetical order, but in the UK, they think that if your name is Alpha Zaphod, that it's going to be listed under A instead of your last name, Z. That's the way that they do it on this one. On this one, They're pretty much doing it like for David Bowie, it's under B for Bowie, not D for David. You get the picture. Band names they're the same, but hey, different countries, different ways. All right, so I'm gonna start off with 100 gecs. Yes, that wonderful two-person group with Dylan and I forget her name, Laura, I believe, or Lena. Um, Very crazy power core band. They're putting out an EP, a 10-inch vinyl EP that is in the shape of a marijuana leaf called Snake Eyes. We've also got the 1975 putting out a 2 LP set live at Gorilla. We've got 10,000 Maniacs, a 2 record set playing favorites. Elemental Music is putting out a 2 different 2 record sets from Cannonball Adderley. And I just want to say that there is an awful lot of jazz on multi-record sets coming out. Yeah, I'll be getting to that Residence LP, Zeb. Oh, I'll be getting to it. Anyway, we just double check something here. All right. So yeah, there's 2 different Cannonball Adderley live albums coming out on Elemental Music. They're both 2 record sets. There's so many jazz releases coming out. I don't know how I'm gonna be able to control my wallet. I'm gonna have to say no to a lot of these things. So anyway, Cannonball Adderley, Burnin' in Bordeaux, live in France, 1969, and Poppin' in Paris, live at Olympia, 1972. Very cool. Um, Air is coming out with a 12-inch vinyl single, Kelly Watch the Stars. These are both in the US and the UK in most cases. Now, also, since this list is coming out 2 months before the date, it is subject to change for either country. So if you're counting on something, go to the recordstoreday.com or recordstoreday.co.uk to check the lists when it gets closer to the actual date and make sure that the releases you want are going to be available. Okay. Lily Allen is coming out with a picture disc of It's Not Me, It's You. I'm not a fan of picture discs because the sound quality is bad. Okay. I bought a 50th anniversary picture disc of the Grateful Dead's American Beauty, wonderfully mastered by Chris Bellman, but it's a picture disc. That means that there is massive surface noise, and any quiet songs, you can hear that noise in the background. It's terrible. So, if you are an all-in person that has to get every single iteration, you'll be buying a picture disc. There's also another type of picture disc that's coming out, which you'll be talking about later. But let's move forward. The band America is putting out their 2 LP on Sun Records, live from the Hollywood Bowl 1975. Apocalyptica is putting out their 2 record set, Worlds Collide. Ashnikko is putting out Demi Devil Special Edition on Parlophone UK. At the Drive-In at Craft Recordings in Casino. Now, at the Drive-In, the dregs of that band is now the Mars Volta. So what I want to do is I want to take a look at let's share the screen with this, and we're going to take a look at that particular one. And this is going to happen a lot of times. This is going to go for longer than an hour, folks. So get yourself something good to drink and work with me here. So let's take a look here, and I'm going to put, let's see, at the Drive-In. And let's see. Oh, what? Did I type it wrong? let's see, here we go, at the drive-in with a hyphen. Okay. Name of the record is In/Casino/Out, the long out of print sophomore title from seminal El Paso, Texas band At the Drive-In, featuring favorites Napoleon Solo, Chanbara, and Alpha Centauri. Drowned in Sound proclaims, it screams at you, beats you into a pulp. Okay, so that's cool. That's coming out in both the US and the UK. There's a better picture of that. So let's go back here and get back to our regular screen. Let's see. At the Gates is coming out with something called Slaughter of the Soul. At Tease, ATEEZ, is coming out with the World EP. That's an LP with a 7-inch. The Average White Band coming out with a Live at the Rainbow Theater 1974 on Demon Records. That should be cool. I believe I saw them on that uh, tour at the Allen Theater in Cleveland, Ohio. They turned that place into a disco for one night. It was awesome. And let's see. Chet Baker and Jack Sheldon, In Perfect Harmony, the Lost Album. Now this is on Jazz Detective album that records. That is Zev Feldman's label. And let me see what it has to say about that. Let's take a look at it. Let's see. Up here, Lost Album. And there it is, In Perfect Harmony. And it says here, the Lost Album is a previously unreleased studio album from West Coast trumpet icons Chet Baker, and Jack Sheldon, who was also the assistant band leader and alternate band leader on The Tonight Show back in the 90s. Recorded in Tustin, California, 1972 with pianist David Fishberg, bassist Joe Mondragon, drummer Nick Ciroli, and guitarist Jack Marshall, produced by Jack Marshall and Hank Quinn. The tape comes from the personal archives of Jack Marshall's son, the legendary film producer Frank Marshall. This official release for Orchestra Day, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Manufactured at Memphis Record Pressing. So that looks interesting. All right. Let's get back to that and get back to our screen here. Now, it doesn't look like this is coming out in the UK, but it is definitely coming out in the US. A couple of years ago, the infinite knowledge of the people at Record Store Day presented something to the record companies and said, hey, let's make little tiny records, little 3-inch records. I don't have one. I've never bought one of them, but I've seen them. They look like, as a matter of fact, years ago, back when I was like in high school in the 70s, they had these little like 3-inch slabs of bubble gum. They called them chew bops, and they had record labels on them, and they sold those at candy stores. When I saw one, I thought, what the heck is this? They bringing chew bops back? I said, no, it's a 3-inch record. So there's a special little teeny record player that you can buy. I think it's about 100, 150 bucks. And it's got a magnetic cartridge on it and output for your stereo. And you can buy these special little 3-inch records. So they're coming out with a brand new player. They're manufacturing a Beatles player. Previously they had made a White Stripes one, or a Third Man Records 3-inch player, but now they're coming out with a Beatles 3-inch player, and they are releasing not only the Beatles limited edition RSD3 turntable, but they're putting out 3-inch singles of She Loves You, Till There Was You, I Want to Hold Your Hand, the song that really broke them into the American market, and I Saw Her Standing There. Now, I didn't see that on the UK list, so I don't think it's going to be available there. Now, if you hear of something that's going to be on one list but not the other, you're going to have to contact your friends on the other side of the pond to see if you guys can, like, you know, finagle some sort of a international swap. Of course, with shipping being as expensive as it is, what can you say? Okay, let's continue this. We are here on YouTube and on Twitch, the Bill's Box of Sound channel on Twitch. You can also see me there. So let's get this going. There's going to be a soundtrack album for the movie Airplane uh, with the original score composed by Elmer Bernstein. That's going to be cool. Blur, a 30th edition of the Park Life album. It's going to be on a 30th anniversary Zoetrope picture disc. Okay. Now, what is a Zoetrope picture disc? It is a picture disc. Once again, I don't like picture discs because they don't sound good. And it's got pictures all around the diameter of the record. And when you play it and look at it with electrical light on it, it looks like it's animated pictures going just standing still on the record. It's kind of cool looking, but once again, this is like for collectors only, for show only. The records don't sound as good as regular records. So if you are collecting for music, I would stay away from those things. They're also calling those lenticular records, but I call them the Zoetrope picture discs. Okay. All right. Boogie Down Productions, Edutainment. A 2-record version is coming out on Get On Down Records. There's going to be a Bowie album called Waiting in the Sky. Now, let's find out what that thing is. Let's go back up here and let me just type Bowie in here. And here it is, Waiting in the Sky. All right. So there's the cover, Waiting in the Sky. And it is a LP. There's 8,000 copies made, taken from the Trident Studios quarter-inch stereo tapes dated 15th December 1971, which were created for the then provisional track listing of what would become the rise and fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars album. The track listing for Waiting in the Sky Before the Starman Came to Earth runs differently from the Ziggy Stardust album and features 4 songs that did not make the final album. Now that sounds pretty damn cool, if you ask me. There's also the Billy Bragg Bloke on Bloke. I guess there was these sessions that came out. As a matter of fact, wait a second. No, I don't have a way of sharing that screen. The people at Cooking Vinyl reached out to me about this and asked me if I was interested in it. Personally, I've never been a Billy Bragg fan. I had a couple albums in the past, sold them or gave them away. Um, I just can't get into Billy Bragg. I know there are people that love Billy Bragg, but personally, I am not a huge fan of his. So let's get back to our list. Brother Jack McDuff, some more of this unreleased jazz, a 2-record set on Reel to Reel Records called Ain't No Sunshine. Jeff Buckley and Gary Lucas on the Instinct label, 2-record set called Songs to No One. I mean, this is one hell of a list this year, folks. They're just putting out so many records. And right now, I'm going down the list that's going to be available for, as far as I can tell, both the US and the UK. So, Captain Beefheart, the Spotlight Kid. Let me go grab my copy. Oh, good thing that wasn't open. All right, Beefheart, Spotlight Kid. I know I got it here. Here we go. Right next to Clear Spot. Okay. This is the album, Captain Beefheart album, called The Spotlight Kid. Now, just like a Bat Chain Pooler from last Black Friday and also Clear Spot from last year's Record Store Day, this is being released in a 2 LP set. Now, for those who are familiar with the Beefheart, this is the album that has I'm Gonna Booglerize You Baby. It's going to have the Spotlight Kids, Grow Fins. There Ain't No Santa Claus on the Evening Stage. Great album. And there's the back of it. And there's going to be a second record of demos that did not make the final cut. Also, instrumental tracks, remixed stuff, some rehearsals, things like that. Very, very interested in that. But there's so much good stuff. I don't know if I'm going to get it or not. Okay, now, Dwight Yoakam, The Beginning and Then Some, the albums of the 80s. Now, there's a 4 record set and there's a 4 CD set. There's kind of a gray area as to whether or not that's going to be available in both the US and UK in both configurations. There's going to be an Alex Chilton album called The Cliches on Bar None Records. Let's see. Gene Clark, 2 different Gene Clark releases. Oh, no, The Lost Studio Sessions from 64 to 82 on Liberation Hall Records, 2 albums. And also No Other Sessions, the 50th anniversary release of that on 4AD Records, another 2 record set. Nat King Cole. It's going to be CD and LP of Live at the Blue Note in Chicago from the Iconic Artists Group. It's going to be available on CD and LP. The band Come is putting out their deluxe edition of 1111 with an LP and a 7-inch single. The Cranberries, Complete Sessions, 2 record set on Island. Bury the Hatchet, that's coming out. The Cure, yet another Cure picture disc. This time it's The Top. Good album, but it's a picture disc. Damage, recorded live off the board at CBGB's. That's coming out. The Dandy Warhols, live at Levitation. De La Soul, live at Tramps, New York City, 1996, on both LP and CD is coming out. Dead by Sunrise, the album Out of Ashes, a 2 record set on Warner's. Olivia Dean, live at the Jazz Cafe on Island, that's an EP. Devin the Dude on Coffee Brothers, 2 record set, Acoustic Levitation. Manu Dibango, Manu 76 is coming out on Soul Makossa Records. Doctor Who, The Edge of Destruction, a picture set of soundtrack music for your Doctor Who fans. The Doors, a 3 record set, boxed set, live at Concerthuset, Stockholm, Sweden, September 20th, 1968. I know you Doors fans, you got to have every single little thing. I've tried a couple of the Doors live sets. They're good, but I'm not a Doors completist. But hey, if you're into it, you get it. Now, I'm noticing here, Mark Harris is saying, I'm going to get the Taylor Swift. That was last year, Mark. As far as I can tell, there's no Taylor Swift coming out exclusively for Record Store Day. So you can relax about that. Okay. Where were we? We got Carol Douglas, Night Fever on Midsong record. Lamont Dozier, Love and Beauty on Demon. Dr. John, his singles, 1968 to 74, called Gree Gree Gumbo Ya Ya. That should be interesting. It's a 2 record set. The Dream Syndicate, Sketches for the Days of Wine and Roses, coming out on Fire Records. Electra Fictions, Burned, doesn't say what label it's on, coming out. The English Beat. Now, in the UK, they're just called the Beat, and they they are releasing the What Happened expanded edition, 2 record set again. It seems as though there's record pressing plants popping up all over the world now. So we're going to have a glut of records, overpriced records. So my strategy is going to be to buy the ones that I must have, and then go back a week later or maybe a month later and see if there's any stuff left that has reduced prices on it. But your mileage may vary, your strategy may vary. Let's see. The Faces are putting out a 2 record set of the BBC session recordings. The Farm Dogs are putting out a 2 record set of Last Stand in Open Country. Fetty Wap, the self-titled album on... doesn't say what the label is. Fields of the Nephilim, Burning the Fields, coming out on a 2 record set. Fleet Foxes, live at Boston Harbor. Thought they were a sub pop band, but they're on Epitaph Records now, or Anti. It's a 3 record set. A picture disc of Fleetwood Mac's Rumors. If you want that, it'll be available. The Flying Burrito Brothers, live in Amsterdam, 1972. 2 record set coming out. Fool's Garden, Lemon Tree on BMG, a 12-inch single. Bob Frank, Broke Again, the unreleased recordings on Real Gone Music. The Fun Boy 3, Extended, a 2 record set. Probably some extended mixes of Fun Boy 3. Noel Gallagher's High Flying Birds, Magic Secrets #2. It's a 7-inch record coming out on Sour Mash. Garbage's Lie to Me will be re-released on vinyl. Lowell George, Thanks I'll Eat It Here. Now, yeah, that's going to be a 2 record set similar to the treatment that they're doing to the Captain Beefheart records, where they've got the original LP remastered and a bunch of demos, outtakes, rehearsals, different mixes, etc. on the second LP. We've got Ghost Note with Mustard and Onions on Mac Avenue Records, another 2 record set. Golden Earring, a 2 record set called The Cut Sessions. Looks like an expanded version of the album that had Twilight Zone on it. Gorillaz are putting out a deluxe 2 record vinyl edition of Cracker Island. There's going to be yet another, if it's Record Store Day or Record Store Day Black Friday, you can pretty much assume that there's going to be a box of Grateful Dead, a whole concert. This one's called Nightfall of Diamonds, and that's going to be a 4 record set with the very last side either silk screened or etched or whatever on that one. Okay, now there's this special Grohl, Bonatti, and Ian, which I'm pretty darn sure is Dave Grohl from Foo Fighters, and from Anthrax, Charlie Bonatti and Scott Ian. An album called The Regulator. That's it's not an album, it's a single, a 7-inch single. That's coming out. Groove Armada's putting out White Light on School Kids Records, 2 record set. Vince Guaraldi, it was a short summer Charlie Brown soundtrack on the Lee Mendelsohn film soundtrack label. An electronic music masterpiece is coming out. Let me look this up here. Go back here and just type. Here we go. All right. Yeah. If you know this album, you know that it is awesome. Okay. Music von Harmonia, Anniversary Edition. It's the 50th anniversary of Harmonia's legendary first album, Music von Harmonia. Groenland Records celebrates this with a special anniversary edition double LP containing the original album plus a second LP with previously unreleased reworks by Matthew Herbert, James Holden, David Pajo, Kalima, Vittoria Macabruni, Dextro, Marta Salongi, and more. This is techno. It's krautrock. It's good stuff. It is highly recommended if you're into that type of music. Shall we continue? All right, two more of the picture discs with the zoetrope on them. Two George Harrison reissues. I understand they're talking about doing the entire George Harrison catalog this way. They're going to be releasing Wonderwall music and electronic sound, his ambient record, and not ambient, it's ambient record. Yeah, both Wonderwall music and electronic sound being released on a picture disc with a zoetrope on one side. For the collectors, I know Mazzy's going to get them both because he collects everything related to Beatles, and that's his thing. Anything that's related to Mr. Zappa, I'll buy, and we'll hear about that a little later on. Okay. All right. Kristen Hirsch on 4AD Records, Hips and Makers, 2-record set. The Hives, Lex Hives and Live from Terminal 5, a 2-record set. And also the Black and White album is coming out on Interscope. Earl Hooker, There's a Fungus Among Us on Red Lightning Records. I believe that's a blues album. Some reggae for you. Horace Andy and Sly and Robbie, Living It Up. Howlin' Wolf, Live in Europe 1964 on Southern Echoes. That looks cool. Let's see. Holly Humberstone and Muna, Into Your Room, a 7-inch on Geffen. Ian Hunter, Defiance Part 2, Fiction on Sun Records, a 2-record set. Now, I'm not familiar with that album, and I am an Ian Hunter fan, so let's just look for Hunter here and take a look at that. Let's see. Defiance Part 2, Deluxe Edition. All right. Sorry, I did not go back to this so you can see it. There's Hunter, the man with his shades. And what is this? It's a deluxe edition of this album here. And it says here that it's a follow-up to rock legend Ian Hunter's successful 2023 album Defiance, featuring another stacked lineup of guest appearances, including Johnny Depp, Lucinda Williams, Brian May, to list a few, as well as Jeff Beck's final recordings. Jeff Beck with Ian Hunter sounds interesting. This deluxe edition 2 LP set contains 3 exclusive bonus tracks and is pressed on translucent yellow vinyl. So it looks like all new songs. Wow. So Mr. Hunter is not letting grass grow beneath his feet. He's doing stuff, and I love that about him. That's cool. All right. Chris Isaac, a complete collection on Sun Records. So it looks like a 2-record set, Beyond the Sun, on the same label that Ian Hunter's stuff is on. The Japanese House, ITE-IAD sessions on Dirty Hit. That's an EP. There's a 50th anniversary release of Elton John's album Caribou, which was recorded at the Caribou Recording Studios in Colorado. Noah Kahan or Kahan, I Am on Republic. Keen is coming out with Live at Paradiso, a 2-record set on Interscope. It's a concert from 2004. Mark Knopfler's The Boy on Blue Note, 12-inch vinyl EP is coming out. Ladytron, now that's some techno stuff, alternative music, on Network, Light and Magic. Yusef Lateef, another 2-record set of concerts, Atlantis Lullaby coming out. We've got Laufrey, A Night at the Symphony, another 2-record set. Now I've got 2 different versions of a re-release of the John Lennon album Mind Games, which I think I have, but I'm not going to pull it out for you. But one is just going to be a black vinyl album, and then there's going to be a colored vinyl. Let's see what color it's going to be. What do you say? Let's go check it out. Let's see. No, bring it in. Bring it out. Let's search for Lennon. Now you can all search for this stuff yourself on their respective sites, as I said before, recordstoreday.com, or for the UK, recordstoreday.co.uk. So it says it's an EP. Let's see. Long-standing supporters of independent stores all around the globe, the Lennon Estate are excited and proud to be able to join the fun with this new exclusive limited edition 4-track 12-inch. As a teaser to the forthcoming Ultimate Edition anniversary release of the Mind Games album later this year. In a collection of incredible new formats, this extremely limited edition EP sets the tone for what will be an extraordinary year for the music and legacy of John Lennon, offered in 2 color variants, a luminous glow-in-the-dark 140-gram colored vinyl. And by the way, if you've ever bought a glow-in-the-dark vinyl, the surface noise on that is way through the roof, almost worse than a picture disc. And let's see, also a 180-gram black vinyl version. So it's not a reissue of the album. I was wrong. So it's got the Ultimate Mix of Mind Games and I'm the Greatest Ultimate Mix, featuring George Harrison and Ringo Starr on A side. And the B side has Asumasen, or I'm Sorry, the Ultimate Mix, and You Are Here, Outtake Take 5 on the flip side. So that is what the Mind Games EP is. I'm glad I looked at that because I was mistaken. All right, let's keep on looking here. Let's see, I was at John Lennon. There we go. All right, Lil Uzi Vert, Love Is Rage record coming out. Lil Peep, Star Shopping on AWOL 7-inch vinyl. Little Richard, Right Now on Omnivore, that's coming out. Lordy is coming out with a 2-record set on Music on Vinyl, Bend Over and Pray the Lord. Lovejoy, 2 different 7-inch singles. One is Concrete, backed with The Fall. The other one is One Day, backed with Sex Sells. Mad Child coming out with a 10th anniversary of the Lawnmower Man album on Suburban Noise. Shelly Manne, 2-record set on Reel to Reel of jazz from the Pacific Northwest. What else we got here? Military Gun with Life Under the Sun. A couple of Ennio Morricone soundtracks. Orca and Storia di Vita El Malavita. There's a couple of different Ennio Morricone soundtracks coming out. So you soundtrack collectors will get into that. Motley Crue's Supersonic and Demonic Relics, a 2-record picture disc collection on the BMG label. Motorhead's Remorse No, 2-record set on Sanctuary Records. Mr. Big, a Lean Into It live record. I guess they've gotten together and they're touring that album and playing it live. Mudhoney, 5-record box of their stuff called Suck You Dry, the Reprise years. Mudhoney fans, you're going to love that. Next, Kate Nash, 7-inch single, Back at School, backed with Space Odyssey 2001 on Kill Rock Stars. Willie Nelson with Phages and Stages, 2-record set. Nightmares on Wax, 25th anniversary of Car Boot Soul. It's also got a 2-record set on Warp with a 7-inch included. That sounds cool. Notorious B.I.G., Ready to Die, the Instrumentals. I believe it's coming out on Rhino. Richard O'Brien, who played Riff Raff in Rocky Horror Picture Show, and he also wrote the movie and wrote the songs, okay? So this is interesting. Richard O'Brien's coming out with the original demos for the songs of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. That sounds interesting. Wouldn't mind hearing it, but I'm not too sure if I want to buy it. New Order fans, Tasty Fish remix by the other two, which of course is Stephen Morris and what's her name? Somebody help me. Stephen Morris. Let me grab a New Order. Oh, wait. They don't even list the names of the people on the New Order album. So why am I looking? But anyway, the synth player, what's her name? Married to Stephen Morris. Okay. Anyway, it's the other two. They're coming out with a remix of their solo single. Okay. I'll tell you what. Let's pull it up then. Okay. Let's go here and just type in other two. Okay, Tasty Fish remix. It's a vinyl single. Gillan, yes, Gillian Gilbert and Stephen Morris from New Order. Their first single in 1991. It would go on to appear on their first album, The Other Two and You, in 1993. So it's on blue vinyl. It's kind of very limited interest, but if you're a New Order collector, hey, more power to you. Okay. Dolores O'Riordan, for the lead singer from Cranberries. Are You Listening is coming out with on a 2-record LP release. The Offspring 20th anniversary of Splinters, their album Splinter, on Roundhill Music, a picture disc. There's two different release. Wait, no, there's one release of Bauhaus Staircase Instrumentals, the newest album by Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark. And by the way, that's not a bad album. I haven't bought it yet, but I listened to it on Spotify. Pretty good. The Orb is coming out with the Holloway Baruch, an ambient excursion on cooking vinyl. That sounds cool. There's also an OMD album called Junk Culture Demos and Rarities, a 2-record set of outtakes and other stuff from the Junk Culture sessions. Paramore, they're coming out with 2 different versions of the album in reference to This Is Why. I have no idea why I just got balloons on my screen. Anyway, This Is Why Standard and This Is Why Remix and Standard on Atlantic. So one's a 2-record set, one's a single. So Paramore fans, you know what to do. Parliament Osmium on Demon Records, 2-record set, deluxe edition of that. Alan Parsons, the Pyramid album. Let's pull that out. So I know I've got my Alan Parsons Project stuff here. I was rearranging my records, so I just moved my stuff here. We got Pyramid. Let's see. No, that's here it goes. Alan Parsons Pyramid. But this is going to be what's called the, where is it? Parsons. Wrong side of the paper, Bill. Okay, the Work in Progress on cooking vinyl. Be interested to see what that sounds like. So, got that there. Pearl Jam, Dark Matter. It says it's an LP, but I heard that this is actually an EP. So let's check that out here. Let's just go Pearl Jam. Oh, come on. What did I type wrong? Okay. There we go. Pearl Jam, Dark Matter. All right. Ooh, check this out. Pretty vinyl, huh? Okay. This is an exclusive yellow and black ghostly dark matter LP color for Record Store Day 2024, the band's 12th studio album produced by Andrew Watt. Okay, so that's a whole album. Somebody told me that that was just a single, so I don't know what they were thinking. All right, let's go back and keep on looking. Lee Scratch Perry and the Upsetters, Skanking with the Upsetters on Trojan. Joe Pesci, Little Joe Sure Can Sing. Now, what this is wacky. Before Joe Pesci became a real big time actor, he put out an album. So this is old stuff. I think it was recorded in the late 60s. Let's take a look here and look up Pesci. Here we go. It's on Real Gone Music. There's only 1,400 of these made, so you never know. This may be a big collector's item, just like that wrestling star. I forget who it was, Randy Savage or something. Anyway, so this was recorded under the name Joe Ritchie in 1968. So it's never been reissued. So it's got all sorts of pop hits of the day. It's got Beatles songs. It's got a couple of Bee Gees songs. It's got let's see, Let's Stop Fooling Ourselves, Born to Be Blue, and End of the Sun Will Shine. Very strange. Yes, Little Joe sure can sing. So that's kind of limited interest there, but it's coming out. All right. Continuing. Maisie Peters, The Good Witch, deluxe version on Elektra. We got the Pixies live from Red Rocks on Demon, 2-record set. We've got a 7-inch vinyl of Queen, Cool Cat. We've got the Ramones, the 1975 Sire demos. That sounds very interesting. Let's look that up real quick here. How go we here? Oh boy, we're almost an hour into this, so this is going to be a while. This may be a full 2-hour thing. So let's look up. Let's see, where was I? Ramones. Okay. All right. This is the Sire demos. 50th anniversary of the founding of the Ramones. This collection includes their earliest known studio recordings for Sire Records, many of which would be included on their paradigm-shifting 1976 debut, including 53rd and 3rd, Loudmouth, and I Don't Want to Walk Around With You, as well as handfuls of rare tracks produced by Tommy Ramone. So I may be very interested in getting that little puppy. So let's check that out. The Replacements, 2-record set, Not Ready for Prime Time, live at the Cabaret, Metro Chicago. The Residents, Leftovers again. Yes. Let's go into the Residents pile here, folks. Now, this was a whoa, wait a second, wrong one. Here we go. This was a record store day offering a couple of years ago. For some reason, I kind of ignored it. It's called Leftovers Again, and it's got this hideous cover on it. But what this is just leftover extra tracks that just wound up never being released or just put together. Also, some very rare things. It's got like Rusty Concentrate, which is like from Rusty Coat Hangers for the Doctor, and Whoopie Snorp remixed. But I shouldn't be talking about this, but this is good. If you're a Residents fan and you don't know about Leftovers Again, oh, you got to pick it up, because this new one is going to have even more weird stuff on it. So Residents fans, you got to check that out. All right. The Roaches, 45th anniversary of their debut album, produced by Robert Fripp, by the way, on Real Gone Music. There's going to be a reissue of the first Rolling Stones album, and I believe it's on colored vinyl. It's the UK version. And also a live EP of Live at Racket New York City. It was recorded just last year to celebrate the Hackney Diamonds album. There's going to be a 4-record set of Sonny Rollins' 1959 European tour called Freedom Weaver on Resonance. Like I said, all this jazz music coming out and multi-record sets. What do they think? All jazz fans are rich or broke? Or they're trying to make it broke. Pardon me. There is a 4-record set of Linda Ronstadt, The Asylum Years. All of the albums that came out on Asylum from 73 to 77, Hasten Down the Wind. What else? Don't Cry Now. Some good albums, not her biggest or most successful albums, but some pretty good stuff is coming out on a 4 LP boxed set. Now, Todd Rundgren, his album Todd, which, where is it? I got it here. Oh yeah, it's nope, that's Ruben and the Jets. Todd, where are you? Let me turn on some lights in here, see if I can find it. Oh, there it is, right after Wizard of True Star. So it looks like they're re-releasing these albums in sequence, like once a year. This is a 2-record set, Todd. And it's being released on, once again, on 2-record set, colored vinyl. And I don't know if the poster that originally came with this album is included. There was originally a poster that was made up of text. What had happened was, in the album that was previously out before that, which is called A Wizard of True Star, in the early pressings of that album, there was a postcard, which if you filled out this postcard with your name and address and sent it in, your name would be used on something for the next album. So what they did is they made a poster of the front cover of the Todd album. And if you looked into it really, really close, you'd see real tiny, in different levels of gray, people's names. Pardon me. So that was really cool. Now, there's another Todd Rundgren release coming out for Record Store today, but it's US only. We'll be talking about that later. Okay. Pharoah Sanders, Harvest Time, 7-inch vinyl. It's on Luwaka Bop. It's like a Japanese thing. Nancy Sinatra's How Does That Grab You album coming out on Light in the Attic. Susie and the Banshees Nocturne album, expanded version, 2 LPs on Geffen. Sisters of Mercy LP of Body and Soul and Walk Away. I think that's like a 12-inch single. Slater Kinney, 7-inch single of This Time Back With Here Today. The Slits in the Beginning, 2-record set. Is this what I think it is? Let's check it out. So let's just go here and type Slits. And there it is. Okay. This is The Slits. Were known for their uncompromising attitude and aggressive confrontational music, first seen on their 1977 tour with The Clash. To this day, they are cited as being hugely inspiring to many female artists, but even their seminal Island record 1979 debut, Cut, with its infamous sleeve of the band members naked and caked in mud, did not capture the true energy and spontaneity of their live recordings. So here we go. In the beginning, The Slits. Looking forward to checking that out if I don't run out of money first. Let's keep moving, shall we? Sonic Youth, Hits Are for Squares. Now, I've got a copy of this. It's a 2-record set. It's a compilation of tunes picked by alternate rock and other music luminaries as their favorite Sonic Youth tracks. It ends up being a pretty good compilation. And I don't remember if any of these tunes are super rare or not. But if you're interested, go on the Record Store Day site and check it out. It's available. Let's see. Spoonfred Hybrid, self-titled album on 4AD, 2-record set. SRC, single album on Jackpot. Mavis Staples, Have Little Faith, 2-record set on Alligator Records, deluxe edition coming out. Ringo Starr, Crooked Boy. If you're a big Ringo Starr fan, you can pick that up. But for the past couple of years, the history of Ringo Starr releases on Record Store Day have been that they just really aren't selling. It's like I paid full price for the Old Wave album because it was never released in America. But then a couple weeks later, went back to the store and slices were slashed. What else has come out? Ringo the Fourth. There was a couple other Ringo albums. I mean, his stuff just doesn't sell, you know? Let's keep on going. Let's see. Joe Strummer and the Mescaleros, Rock Art in the X-Ray Style 25th Anniversary. 2-record set on Dark Horse Records. Donna Summer's Many States of Independence 12-inch vinyl single. Also, there's a couple of different Sun Ra releases. Now, the one that's going to be available in both countries is Sun Ra at the Showcase, live in Chicago, 2-record set on Jazz Detective Records. I got lots of Sun Ra albums, but man, I only have so much money. Super Furry Animals, a B-Sides and Rarities album called Fuzzy Logic is coming out on Record Store Day. Supergrass, Kiss of Life is 20, a 10-inch vinyl EP from them. There's going to be a 2-record set from Talking Heads live at WCOZ 1977, which some of the songs that are on this album turn up on the album. The name of this band is Talking Heads, which I've got a copy of here, but if I move it, I'm going to cause a stack of CDs to go falling onto the floor. So I'm not going to pull it out right now, but it's going to have the entire concert and it's mastered at 45 RPM. So it's going to sound amazing. Oh, okay. Wait, Zeb says there's 2 rare tracks on that Sonic Youth compilation. Thank you very much. All right. Art Tatum, 3-record set on Resonance Record, Jewels in the Treasure Box, the 1953 Chicago recordings. Oh my God, 3 more records. That thing's going to go for 60, 80 bucks at least here in the US. Television, live album, Live at the Academy on Ohu Records, 2-record set. Now, is this, it doesn't look like this is the same thing that came out on Elektra a few years back, but it's possible. It could be. And hello, Jacob from Greenland. Good to see you. Thin Lizzy, live at Hammersmith in 1976. 2-record set on Mercury Island. Tom Tom Club, Genius of Love 2001 remix is coming out. Trash Can Sinatra's Wild Pendulum on Red River Entertainment. Frank Turner, Girl from the Record Shop on Extra Mile Records. It's a 7-inch vinyl. U2 10-inch vinyl single of Atomic City live at the Sphere in Las Vegas during their recent residency there. Ultramagnetic MCs, record on Music on Vinyl Records, a record of the Ultras live at Brixton. Ultravox, Steven Wilson extended remixes. Now, there's a whole bunch of various artists things here that I'm just going to scan through because, I mean, it's a Lost in Translation soundtrack. There's Hoodoo Blues. There's Jazz Dispensary Freedom Sound, stuff like that. Soul Jazz Records presents Punk 45, Kill the Hippies, Kill Yourself, 300% Dynamite, and Studio One Rude Boy, all 3 of those 2-record sets. There's going to be a 3-record set called South Park, the 25th Anniversary Concert, which I'm interested in, which is a concert celebrating the 25th anniversary of the animated program South Park. But the main instrumentalists for this are Primus. You know who I'm talking about. Les Claypool, Lur, and Tim Alexander, and Ween. So you got Dean and Gene Ween and Primus and Matt and Trey from South Park, as well as guest appearances from Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson. So, South Park fans, Rush fans, Primus fans, Ween fans, pony up the money because it's coming out. Excuse me while I cough. All right. There's going to be a rare Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons album called the Genuine Imitation Life Gazette, which is a concept album they did, which was packaged to look like a newspaper. Kind of interesting. I've got a copy of it, but I'm not going to go and pull it out right now. Let's see. Mal Waldron and Steve Lacy, The Mighty Warriors, live in Antwerp on Elemental Music, another 2-record set of jazz. The Weekend, live at SoFi Stadium, 3-record set on XO Republic. The Who, it's a re-release of a collection. It's a real good compilation called The Story of the Who. That's coming out. An expanded version of the Wilco album, The Whole Love, which is the only album I own by Wilco, because like Billy Bragg, I have a hard time getting into Wilco. There's people that just love them to death, but they just haven't hit me yet. But I've got The Whole Love, but there is an expanded version of The Whole Love, and it's a boxed set, so there's at least 3 records in there. Kim Wilde, Disco Mixes, 2-record set on Cherry Red. Stephen Wilson, Harmonic Divergence, which is remixes from the Harmony Codex album, which I really need to buy on vinyl. I've got a digital version of it, and it's great stuff. Okay. The Yardbirds, Psycho Daisy is a complete B-sides on Demon Records. Also, 5 Live Yardbirds is being re-released on Culture Factory. And Yale Bowl 1971. Now, this I'm really interested in. I just thought it was going to be very early Yes, but Yes goes back so far. Let me pull this up and tell you what it is. Okay. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Here we go. Yale Bowl 1971. Okay, this is what the cover looks like. It looks like a bootleg. And for all practical purposes, it could be a bootleg. You know, in the old days, the bootlegs would have their covers made on a photocopy machine, and then they would just either shrink wrap them or glue them to the cover. So that's what it looks like. And this is an unreleased full performance from the Yes album tour in 1971, recorded at the Yale Bowl in New Haven, Connecticut on July 24th, 71. This limited edition LP features raw performances of the following classic tracks. Sorry, I had to wet my whistle there. A almost 11-minute version of Yours Is No Disgrace. An 8-minute version of I've Seen All Good People. A version of The Clap mixed with classical gas, and a 15-minute and 46-second version of Perpetual Change. Oh my God. I will really enjoy getting my hands on that little nugget. So that I'm definitely getting. Okay. Young Thug, the album Jeffrey is coming out. There's something by Neil Young and Crazy Horse called Fuck It Up. It's a 2-record set on Reprise. Real interesting concept. All this stuff is unreleased. It's new performances. Okay. It's Well, I'm just going to have to look it up again because I read this and it's got an interesting cover as well. So let's just go back here and Young. Let's see, Neil Young and Crazy Horse. All right, it's a 2-record set. That's what the cover looks like. And it says from Neil's sleeve notes, why do these old songs live so vividly now? They do to me. So it's Neil and the horse. What they're doing is they're playing 9 songs on 2 LPs with the original song titles replaced with selected lyrics. So we don't know exactly what songs they're going to be. But there's a cover song called Farmer John on there. And it's going to have Crazy Horse, Billy Talbot, Ralph Molina, Micah Nelson, Nils Lofgren on guitar, vocal, and piano, and Neil Young. Okay, so this is for deep Neil Young fans. I'd be tempted to pick this up just simply because it's a cool idea. And since it is Neil Young, I would wager that the price is going to be amped up a little bit on it because a lot of Neil Young's albums are just higher priced. What are you going to do? Okay. And if that weren't enough, and by God, don't you think it ought to be? We're going to take a look at this one, which is the one thing that I want to get more than anything else for Record Store Day. It is Zappa for President. Okay? Now, this is a compilation of mostly unreleased stuff. It's going to be released on a 2-record set of red, white, and blue splattered vinyl. Okay. It's going to have Overture to Uncle Sam, which is a synclavier piece, a remix of Brown Shoes Don't Make It, a vocal version of America, a spoken word piece, If I Was President, by Frank Zappa. Third side has a version of When the Lie's So Big, and the side ends with America the Beautiful. Now, both of those performances are from the last U.S. concert, which has been released on the last U.S. tour. And then also Medieval Ensemble. Okay. So, whereas this isn't like the most desirable Frank Zappa piece to appear on vinyl, it is something that has never appeared on vinyl. And therefore, if you're a Zappa fan like I am, you gotta have it. You just gotta. Okay. So that's all of it. Okay, now I am an hour and 15 minutes. I'm going to talk about the highlights of stuff that are available only to those in the United States. Okay. We're going to have, let's see, 2 Chainz, Acid King, Middle of Nowhere on Blues Funeral Records. The Amboy Dukes reissue of the Journey to the Center of the Mind album is coming out. Monty Alexander, a reissue of the MPS album Montreux Alexander. We got this band called Band X. I want to look that up. Band X, who is that? Just put here. Band X. Come on. X. It won't do it. Okay. All right, so let's just do it this way. Band X. Who is Band X? Let's see. The best of Band X. There had been no previous Band X releases. Okay. Craig Payton. This is really interesting stuff. Because they're talking about Shuggy Otis. They're talking about Steely Dan. They're talking about jazz stuff. Stevie Wonder. I don't know. This looks interesting. the best of band X. That looks kind of odd, but you never know what that's going to be. All right, back to me. Let's see. Blessed Union of Souls on MNRK Nashville, Walking Off the Buzz. The Bottle Rockets on Real Gone Music. We've got Eric Church, 7-inch of Caldwell Country. Jimmy Cliff in concert. The best of Jimmy Cliff is coming out. The Cold War Kids 10-inch EP CWK. Collective Soul, 25th anniversary of Dosage is coming out on Craft. Jim Croce live the final tour. Robert Crumb and his Cheap Suit Serenaders singing in the bathtub. Let's see. Oh, I think I forgot to mention this. Daft Punk, Something About Us, the love theme from whatever it is, on 12-inch vinyl. Dead Milkmen, the Dead Milkmen re-release of Bucky Fellini. Dina and Beretta's La Ventura, 2 record set on double feature. There are 2 versions, well, 2 releases. Oh, I see. When I do this, that's when the balloons come up. I don't know why. All right. There's 2 different Dio releases coming out in the US only. One is the album The Last in Line on a Zoetrope picture disc. It is also a regular album coming out called The Last in Live, 40 years of The Last in Line. So they're both going to be picture discs. So one's going to be studio, one's going to be live. Oy vey. All right, Dixie Dregs is coming out with the Great Spectator album. I'm not too sure about that. Ecomouse coming out with a Assassinator. A picture disc of Emerson Lake and Palmer's picture is at exhibition. Everything But the Girls at Malda Valley on Verve. Fetch and Bones Cabin Flounder album reissued. Filter, The Very Best Things, 95 to 2008, 2 record set on Craft Recordings. Filter, the Mr. Patrick, he is from Cleveland, Ohio area. We've got Ace Frehley's 10,000 Volts coming out on a picture disc. Gandalf, self-titled album on Jackpot Records. Bebel Gilberto, the Tudo album, and Astrid Gilberto, That Girl from Ipanema, on Friday Music, coming out in the US. A John Hartford re-release on Real Gone Music, Morning Bugle, remixed, remastered, and expanded, a 2 record set. The Groovy Ghoulies coming out with 40 years of Kepi and the Groovy Ghoulies on School Kids Records, 2 record set. Horse the Band, a 2 record set called A Natural Death. Now, this will be interesting to Zappa fans. Hun Hertu, Rizzo, and Donnie Harrison. Dreamers in the Field on Dark Horse Records. Now, Hun Hertu is the throat singers that were on Dance Me This and also on Civilization Phase 3. So for those who seem to be interested in them, check it out. Iggy and the Stooges live at Le Cursi, Freestein, 2005 on Culture Factory US. What else we got? Jorma Kaukonen and John Herfbutt, One More Lifetime on Culture Factory coming out on LP and CD. Lenny Kaye and Friends, Live at the Cat's Cradle. Wiz Khalifa, Loud Pack, a box set of 5 7-inch vinyls. Kool Keith, Mushrooms and Acid coming out. We've got Lil Wayne, Sorry for the Wait, 2-record set on Young Money in Republic. G Love and Special Sauce, 30th anniversary, 2-record set on Legacy. We've got Meat Puppets, Live in Montana coming out. The Mighty Lemon Drops, Ricochet on Real Gone Music. Charles Mingus on Candid, another one of those great Candid reissues. Reincarnations. We've got Nas, Illmatic remixes and rarities coming out on Legacy. Willie Nelson and various artists, long story short, Willie Nelson 90 for his 90th birthday. Danny Ocean, 54+1 on Warner Latina. Paper Kites, Evergreen on Network. Charlie Parker, Norman Granz, Jazz at the Philharmonic on Verve. Pigs, live at KEXP on Missing Piece Records. It's a 12-inch EP. Check it out, punkers. Dave Pike, The Doors of Perception on Nature Sounds. PM Dawn's Jesus Wept on 2-record set. 2 Public Enemy albums. No, actually, it looks like, okay, on CD or LP. Public Enemy's Revolvolution Tour 2003. Let's see. Rain Parade's Emergency Third Rail Power Trip. 2-record set coming out. Royal Flush, Ghetto Millionaire. Todd Rundgren. Now, I was talking about this earlier. There's an album that came out only on CD. It also came out on a surround sound DVD audio disc. This is an album that came out in, was it 1998 or 1999? Let me just double check here. Let's see. Just looking it up here. Actually, it came out in 2004. Okay. There was an album by Todd Rundgren called Liars. And at the time when it came out, I had kind of given up on Todd Rundgren. Because he was putting out like reimagined versions of his songs. He came out with a blues album. He came out with kind of like an easy listening album. So I was kind of saying, well, we love you, Todd, but I think you're gone. Then my friend John Basso went over to his studio and he says, have you heard the new Todd Rundgren album? It's awesome. Really? So he put it on and I couldn't believe it. This is a concept album, kind of, but all of the songs are Todd Rundgren in his classic inventive style. All songs dealing about the challenges or the loss of truth. And these are great songs. Like Flaw, The Truth is Sweet. Soul Brother, that's a great tune. And then, of course, the title cut Liar or Liars. But if you're a Todd Rundgren fan and you were not familiar with the album Liars, oh my God, that's coming out in the US for the first time on vinyl on Record Store Day. That's a must buy for me. Okay, let's go through the rest of these US ones. Pardon me. Gil Scott-Heron and Brian Jackson, Winter in America, coming out on Culture Factory. Screaming Trees, Strange Things Happening, coming out. Seven Dust, Heavier Than Seven. We got Snarky Puppies, Live at the Band on the Wall. Sparks and Noel. Now, this is crazy weird, a 2-record set that's coming out. So let me just type Sparks in here. And this is an exclusive 45th anniversary double release of Sparks' great album, Number One in Heaven, and also an album written and produced by Ron and Russell Mael called Is There More to Life Than Dancing by LA-based singer Noel. Okay, this stuff came out in 1979, and they're not showing a cover for it, but both albums are recorded at the same time. Now, I've got Number One in Heaven, but this album by this Noel character, this sounds really interesting, especially when Ron and Russell wrote and produced the album. So I'm going to be checking that out. Okay. A Sun Ra album on modern harmonic, Pink Elephants on Parade. Not completely sure what that is, but those of you who love Sun Ra will love that. Canadian band The Tragically Hip, live at CBGB's. Ernest Tubb and his Texas Troubadours, world broadcast recordings from 1944 and 45. And what else? There's going to be a boxed set, Souvenir from a Dream, the Tom Verlaine albums. The 4 albums that Tom Verlaine released on the Elektra label between 1979 and 1984, I think. 1989, I guess. But anyway, a 4-record set of Tom Verlaine's out-of-print solo albums. That's cool. Voivod's album, 2-record set, The Wake, is being released. Wall of Voodoo's first album being re-released on Jackpot Records. That's the band with Stan Ridgway. And also Wall of Voodoo Live 1979, also on Jackpot Records. Ann Wilson and Trip Sitter, which I believe is Ann Wilson from Heart, coming out with a live and concert 2-record set. Bernie Worrell, some previously unreleased stuff from the Woo Meister himself. Wave from the Uverse, 2-record set from the very dearly missed Bernie Worrell. Now, we're almost done, folks. I know if you're hanging in, I love you. I really appreciate it. By the way, if you're here and you stayed with us this long, for heaven's sake, please hit the like button. And if you're not subscribed already, please hit the subscribe button. Now, before I go into our UK exclusives, let me cough a couple times and drink some Diet Coke. Okay. I'm doing pretty good. All right. As far as I can tell, and as of today, these releases are going to be available on Record Store Day in the UK only. So after that, you may have to, get together with a friend or buy it on Discogs or eBay or something. So here we go. 101 Strings, Astro Sounds from beyond the year 2000, which sounds pretty cool. I mean, you say 101 strings, you're thinking, but you're thinking Astro Sounds from beyond the year 2000. Hey, that might be interesting. Okay. We've got 94 East featuring Prince, the legendary recordings 75 to 85, a 3 LP set. Now, I remember the Minnesota West. I'm sorry. The Minnesota 94 East recordings is a single record with early recordings from Prince, but I've never heard of a 3-record set about it before. That's pretty cool. There's an Ahmad Jamal 1 LP Who's Who in Jazz live at Bubba's coming out. There is Alison Goldfrapp, The Love Reinvention, two LPs, black vinyl. April March and Kelly Stoltz. April March sings Kelly Stoltz on Agitated. It's a 12-inch record. As December Falls, is putting out two different releases on Tricolored LP. As December Falls, the self-titled album, and also Happier. Ash B is putting out a Power Ballads album on Marina Records. Azimuth Jazz Carnival on Far Out Recordings. Barclay James Harvest and other short stories on the Esoteric label. We've got the Bevis Frond live at the Great American Music Hall, 2-record set. Big Country Big Country, Why the Long Face, a turquoise vinyl release. Birdmask, Tristan, 12-inch. The Black Delta Movement, 12-inch of In Acetate. Black Sabbath Paranoid on Sanctuary, 1-record splatter. Block Party High Life EP on splatter vinyl. Blues Pills, 1 LP of Birthday, Don't You Love It on red and white marble. Brian Ferry, The Right Stuff, 12-inch EP on blue vinyl. Caitlin Rose, The Stand-In record is coming out. The Charlatans, Indian Rope, 12-inch picture disc on Beggar's Banquet. Charlie Watts live at Fulham Town Hall. Now, this is Charlie Watts' big band. So this is not Rolling Stones type stuff. It's Charlie Watts' own big band playing live at Town Hall. I used to have a copy of it. Either I've lost it, or I can't find it, or I gave it away. Let's see. What else we got here? More things. Exclusive to the UK. The Cockney Rejects, Unforgiven on Cadiz Music. The Cramps, Ultra Twist, 30th anniversary on Music on Vinyl. Das Coolies, remixed, 12-inch on Strange Town. Dead Horse Tapes, Blown Away on Munster. Let's see. Dome City Orchestra featuring the Delsha, Dig It on Dome City, 12-inch. Dub Syndicate, Mellow and Collie on Echo Beach. It's an LP with a CD. Durutti Column, the Vinnie Riley album, re-released on London Records. Ellie Dixon, In Case of Emergency, 7-inch on colored vinyl. English Teacher, live at the Brudenell Social Club, 12-inch on Island. Even More Dazed and Confused on Rhino Warner Records. It's a 1 LP smoky purple vinyl, more songs from the Dazed and Confused soundtrack of the Richard Linklater film. We've got The Fall, A Country on the Click on Cherry Red. The Family Tree on Cherry Records, We Shall See Him As He Is. Fatboy Slim, Everybody Loves a Remix, 12-inch single. Got Field Music, Binding Time. The Flirtations, still sounds like the Flirtations on the Flirtations label. Fox the Fox, Precious Little Diamond, 40th anniversary on Music on Vinyl. Future Sound of London, ISDN, on 2 CD set or colored 2 LP. We've got The Gentle Waves, Swan Song for You. Golden Earring to Cut Sessions. Okay, we already talked about that one. There's a couple of things I want. Let's see, re-release of Black Diamond by the Groundhogs. Great British blues album. Half Japanese, Our Solar System on Fire Records coming out. Hawkwinds Live 79. Hayseed Dixie, Let There Be Rock Grass, 2-record set. We got the Impanimas, Samba Is Our Gift on Far Out Recordings. Jamiroquai, live at the BBC, Maltaverde, 2006, green 12-inch vinyl. Let's see, Johnny Marr, Mars Guitars, which is a hardback book released on Record Store Day. Getting to more of these things. Christy McCall, Titanic Days on UMR. Kula Shaker, Natural Magic on a 12-inch picture disc LP. The Lemonheads, The Hotel Sessions on Fire Records. The Loveless, Elected on Cadiz Music. Marianne Faithful, Faithful Forever on UMR. The Members, Greetings from Nowhere on Anglo-Centric Recordings. Midge-Ur, an early version of The Gift on Chrysalis. Michael Schenker Group, Extended Edition, 2-record set, clear vinyl. Monty Python's 50th anniversary of Live at Drury Lane, and it's a picture disc. Morrissey and Susie, Interlude, gold vinyl on Parlophone. Near Jazz Experience with Mike Garson, the Character Actor EP on Sartorial. Let's see, Ocean Size, Horn and Minor on K-Scope. Peter Murphy, Peter Live Volume 1, covers on Silver Shade from the ex-Bauhaus vocalist. Prefab Sprout, Lions in My Garden, 12-inch. Prince Buster, Where It All Began on 2 LP, Black Beat. Here's something that I would love to get, but it's not available in the US. Okay. On UMR, kind of like it says Zang Tung Tum on the corner, it's the D1000 Organ des Dr. Mabuse, Volume 1, or The Thousand Eyes of Dr. Mabuse. Every release by Propaganda has different remixes on it, and it's wonderful stuff. I love anything by Propaganda. I've got both the US and UK Secret Wish albums. I've got the Wishful Thinking remix album. I've also got the Ex-Propaganda album that came out a couple of years ago with Claudia and I forget the other woman singing on there, but would love to have those. Okay, for you cassette fans, there's going to be 3 PIL releases. Public Image releasing This Is PIL, What the World Needs Now, and End of World on cassette only. What else we got here? Richmond Fontaine, Post to Wire, a 20th anniversary edition, 2-record set, and Winnemucca. Roger Waters, Dark Side of the Moon Redux, which in my opinion is not a fun album, but if you're into it, hey, go for it. That's coming out on a picture disc on Cooking Vinyl. Royal Truck, self-titled on Fire Records. Sex Pistols, The Filth and the Fury soundtrack LP. Sia, Color the Small One LP. Sinead O'Connor, You May Be the Thief of Your Heart, 12-inch single, 30th anniversary. Sizzle, Norman Connors, She's Gone on Arista. Paul Weller, 7-inch single. Doesn't say what the name of it is. Let's see. Already talked about that one. Last page. I see you, Justice Wallace. Much respect to you. Okay. Sun Ra, Inside the Light World, Sun Ra meets the OVC on Strut Records. 2 LP coming out in the UK only. Why? Okay. The Telescopes, Editions LP and 7-inch remix of Growing Eyes Becoming String. The Jimmy Castor Bunch, It's Just Begun. The Caveman album on RCA, 7-inch. Tom Jones 7-inch on amber vinyl of It's Not Unusual. Travis Biggs LP of Solar Funk. And is this getting close to the end here? UFO Lights Out in Tokyo Live 2-record set. Universe City Can You Get Down in Sirius 12-inch. We've got a bunch of various. The Verve No Come Down coming out. The Wailers Best of the Wailers. And last but not least, we've got, this is something I would love to get. X-Ray Specs, a reissue of Germ-Free Adolescence. It's the reissue of the 1978 album on picture disc, with a 12-inch insert containing artwork, photos, and extensive sleeve notes. Man, I just love to get the Germ-Free Adolescence album myself. I don't have a copy of it. Long time ago, I had a 45 of the Day the World Turned Dayglow. What a great song. Yellow Man, Zunga Zunga Gazunga Zang is being re-released. And Cat Stevens, aka Yusuf, is re-releasing Numbers and Is It So with the lenticular cover. I don't know if that's also going to be a picture disc, but that's that. Oh my God. So once again, all of this subject to change. Stay on the websites, recordstoreday.com for the US and recordstoreday.co.uk for you folks in the UK between now and April 20th. Pick wisely. If you are a habitual spender, leave your debit cards at home. You may do something dangerous to yourself. Let me take a quick look at the comments from the chat room before I let you go. Yeah, almost 2 hours. We're coming up on 1 hour, 45 minutes. All right. So, Dr. Smurfo says, probably going to go for the beef heart, some Sun Ra, Zappa, and I might snag the 10th anniversary use of Pinata as I let my old copy to a friend, which I haven't gotten back for in years. Also tempted to add the Morricone soundtracks. Yes, indeed. Okay. Da-da-da-dum. Now, what's this here? An archival can LP? Paris 73? Wow, you've already got yours, and it sounds amazing. And rest in peace to Damo Suzuki. We just found about it a week ago. What else do we have here? Yeah, sounds very exciting, huh, Tim? All right. What else we got here? Hello from Iceland. Good to see you. And let's see. So that's about it. Oh my gosh. What's my favorite Hawkwind LP, says Zeb? Yeah. I've got a very strong soft space in my heart for In Search of Space, and A Space Ritual, and Do Re Mi Fo Sol La Ti Do. Those are like the 3 Hawkwind albums. But Quark, Strangeness, and Charm is a lot of fun, and so is the Hawk Lords album. But besides that, I really should start collecting the old Hawkwind albums that I don't already have. But yeah, Hawkwind's fun. So, if you don't know already, my album is not available for Record Store Day. It's available now. Okay, you can buy it on Bandcamp, spudlock.bandcamp.com. It's only $20 US. And I know that the shipping is ridiculous in different parts of the world. Several of the people in the chat room have spent the money on the postage to get this album. my love goes out to you. Okay, I'm gonna make some hearts for you. Hearts goes out to you, folks. To you who have picked up the Spudlock album. People have told me this reminds them of early Devo, Ween, or Residence stuff, and that's high praise indeed. But I just like it because it's a rockin' weirdo album. Recorded between 1988 and 1992. This is a band of me and my friend Todd that we recorded and finally put out on high quality vinyl this past year. It comes with an insert of the vocals. I mean, that is all the words to the album except for the first cut. And the album is pressed on really high quality vinyl in an audiophile jacket. So if you don't feel like cleaning it, you don't have to, but it's good stuff. All right, folks. I want to thank you so much for tuning in. I know that this was not as entertaining as you thought it might be, but if you're listening and you got some good information about stuff that you might like for Record Store Day, I'm very happy to have delivered that news to you. Okay. So let's see if there's anything else here. I recommend Spudlocks just as much as I recommend Quantum Leap, the TV series, the old and the new. And I have a softer spot for the old Quantum Leap, but the new one's not bad at all. Chief Dancing Ostrich, I gotta admit. So, all right, I'm gonna play just a little bit more of the opening music and then get out of here. Have a great rest of your day. My love goes out to you. Okay, I had a great time. I hope you did too. I hope this helps you plan your Record Store Day activities. So, if you haven't done so already, go listen to some music. Enjoy yourself. I hope you are all well and that you continue to be that way. And if you're not well, at least you are at peace. Okay? So, thanks. My name is Bill. You've been watching Bill's Box of Sound. I'm going to keep the music going. Oh, wait. Play the music. All right. That's it. I'm out of here. And see you next week. I don't know if it'll be a midday one like this one. This is a special event, a special occasion, because I had information on both the US and the UK Record Store Day lists. And I wanted to give that information to you. Once again, recordstoreday.com, recordstoreday.co.uk. If you want to research on this stuff, remember, the selections may change between now and April the 20th, which is Record Store Day. Okay, I'm going to shut up. Take care. Bye.